What up, YouTube? We're back with another YouTube reaction video. In this video, we're gonna react to Trump humiliated at the Grammys by Bad Bunny, Trevor Noah, Billie Eilish, and more. So pretty much the Grammys was, I guess, like a day or two ago. I didn't really look much into it, but there's a couple pages and a couple people that spread on it on Twitter. Supposedly of Bad Bunny, Billie Eilish talking about ICE, get the ICE out, and immigration. This is a free land, and all this gibberish. So you better check it out. We're gonna check it from this YouTuber Brian Taylor Cohen. So you better check it out. Don't forget to like, comment down below what other videos to react to. Leave down in the comments what other topic you want to discuss about. I'll get around to it. This is an open discussion, and I like to see people's thoughts on it, things like that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I appreciate that a lot. And yeah, let's see what they're talking about. I guess in the Grammys. Let's see.
I know that for Trump, any attention is good attention, but something tells me that what we just saw at the Grammys is not going to sit particularly well with him. The show opened with this dig at Trump's new #1 fan, Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues. Actually, Nikki, I have the biggest ass. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nikki. I know they say it's you, but it's me. Wop, wop, wop. Look at it. Look at it, baby.
So while I'm sure it might have felt good for Nicki Minaj to have
bro.
a narcissist slobber all over her because she gave him the affection and the attention that he so desperately craves, the reality is that the cost of aligning herself with the guy running secret police raids across the country is abundantly clear in that room. And to that end, the move...
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed is like, with Nicki Minaj getting close to Trump. I'm not too really sure about that. But I have seen a couple like stories and couple informational things on my Twitter about it, about Nicki Minaj doing a Trump account, things like that, from my last video. And yeah, I found it kind of interesting. What y'all guys think? You think he's trying to look for more rappers to be on his side, singers to be on his side, things like that, to get more of a foothold on things? Let me know down in the comments what you think about that.
mood at the Grammys then turned decidedly anti-ICE, not dissimilar to the mood across the country. Here, for example, is Bad Bunny.
I'm gonna say eyes out.
He could have said anything else, anything inspirational. Anything inspirational. I'm gonna bring up ICE. Like, come on, man. Bruh, this is crazy, man. It's like, that goes to show you, like, even with the music, the artists, it's all an agenda going on. It's all an agenda. It's not artistic anymore. It's not just about the music anymore. It's deeper than that now.
We're not savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we are humans, and we are Americans.
So people that come here illegally are Americans. So you could cross the border and you're an American. Like, that can make sense, bro. That's like somebody from the UK goes into China. So he's part of China now because he did it illegally. I'm confused. There's always a process for something. So I find that false, what he said right there. False. That's false. There has to be a right of way by further laws that we have in place in the country to do it correctly. Just because you cross the border doesn't make you actually American. And one thing I feel unfortunate about is families are being separated, things like that. I'm not saying it's a good thing that's happening. My condolences and sympathy for those people. But it's like, end of the day, this would have been avoided. They would have took the things the right way. Going to the country the right of way. It is doing things illegally that comes with consequence, and doing things the right way that you'll be fine. And it's like there's people too that disrupts their job and their duties. People that cause them harm. People that are destructing their own cities. The cities wouldn't be as much as destroyed if they would just stay home and not interfere with the ISIS work. What always people do? Destroy, hatred, threats. Very, very violent people.
Also, I want to say to the people, I know it's tough to know, not to hate on these days. And I was thinking, sometime we get contaminados. I don't know how to say that in English. The hate get more powerful with more hate. The only thing that is more powerful than hate is love. So,
God's love. God's love. The good news. It's gonna save a lot of people. Hearing the good news, the gospel. And it's like, yeah, you could say, love is more better than hate. But it's like, look at Minneapolis. Look at LA. Look at the other side, the left side, causing mass destruction. It's not love. That's love right there. Threatening them, destroying their vehicles. That's the exact opposite, bro. Exact opposite.
please, we need to be different. If we fight, we have to do it with love. We don't hate them. We love our people, we love our family, and that's the way to do it, with love. Don't forget that, please. Thank you. Thank you, God.
And here's Billie Eilish.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
No one's illegal in stolen land. Billy, what are you talking about, Billy? What are you talking about, man? Go back to like singing your songs. Go back to that. Don't ever talk about this topic of discussion. She's not even within the cities that's being impacted by it. She lives in $1 million home somewhere, far away from the chaos. So it's like she don't have to say in this. Crazy, bruh. They could have been saying something that's inspirational to the youth. Like a speech of hope. A speech of, how she made it to where she's at. No, we don't talk about the ICE thing that's going on. It's like, bro, it's an agenda, bro. It's all an agenda.
And yeah, it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now. And I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting, and our voices really do matter, and the people matter. And I say sorry.
Here's Shabuzi.
Immigrants built this country, literally. Actually, so this is for them, for all children of immigrants. This is also for those who came to this country in search of better opportunity, to be a part of a nation that promised freedom for all and equal opportunity to everyone willing to work for it.
Yeah, but you gotta do it the right way, man. You gotta do it the right way. That's just how it is. You gotta do it the right way. There's a way to do it, and there's a way not to do it. Like I said before, the last administration, if they would have been more strict, if they would have followed the laws that was in place already, many families would have been separated by now. Many people have not been out the country and been taken by ICE. If the last administration would have did it correctly. But the last administration did, it was like this. Like the country was like, it was here, it was level. Then it started going like this. Like a slope. And now, right now, we're getting the effects of it right now. And it's very unfortunate. I know it's going to be a sensitive topic, things like that. But and if there's illegal, and if there's a legal way of doing things, illegal way of doing things. That's just the harsh reality of things. And yeah, there's probably some cases that they did it the wrong way, too much being too aggressive to people, things like that. I'm not justifying those type of actions. I'm not justifying them, being very aggressive towards people, things like that. I don't find that to be okay. Because at the end of the day, they're still doing what they have to do. They got a job to do, a duty to do, same as everybody else. What I don't like is people interfering with their line of work. Making it more difficult for them. And not caring about their lives, their families. It's like don't the people that's going against them, don't they have families to take care of? Don't they have kids to feed? It's like how do they have so much time to do that? So that's the we got a question. Is like who's paying them off? Who's paying them off? Who's making them do these things? But we don't fight with the flesh. We fight the spirit in the flesh.
Thank you for bringing your culture, your music, your stories, and your traditions here. You give America color. I love y'all so much. Thank you.
Here's Olivia Dean, who won a Grammy for Best New Artist.
I guess I want to say I'm up here as a granddaughter of an immigrant. I wouldn't be here. I'm a product of bravery, and I think those people deserve to be celebrated.
Celebrated.
We're nothing without each other. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Here's Kaylani.
What I want to make sure that I say is that everybody is so powerful in this room and in this room later. And together we're stronger in numbers to speak against all the injustice going on in the world right now. Yeah. So instead of letting it be just a couple few here and there, I hope everybody's inspired to join together as a community of artists and speak out against what's going on. And I'm going to leave this and say, fuck ICE.
I mean, hell.
Terrible. But yeah, when somebody goes into your house, rob your house, who do you call? It's probably not going to be ICE agents per se, but it's still law enforcement. So it's like, make it make sense, These people that's not in the areas that's affected. They live in mansions. Rich people. So it's like, for them to speak on that type of stuff, it's like they're not in those situations that's harmful to the average person, the average American, that don't have enough money to get a house, that barely have enough money to live paycheck to paycheck. Those are the people that's getting highly affected by what's going on. But the crime is going on, kids getting kidnapped, gotta worry about their daughters and sons leaving out the house, and having to worry about them, getting kidnapped or attacked for no reason. People that live in, the suburban areas, urban neighborhoods, poverty level is down. They get mostly affected by it. It's like people that obviously have the pen on the ice, they don't live in those areas. It's like, why is that even a topic of discussion? Hey, and today is on agenda. I don't want to listen to the type of music anymore. Reason being, because I walk with the Lord. I'm for the Lord. I glorify the Lord. This type of music is very bad for the mind, for sure. Me personally, their music is really bad. As you see from the music videos, they show them worshiping the Satan. You can see in their videos the way they dress, the symbolism, the words they say.
Even the red carpet had a tribute to the protesters of ICE's brutality. Here's Bonnie Vare.
I want to ask about the whistle. Obviously, it's very prominent. What does it stand for?
It's to honor the observers in Minneapolis. They blow the whistles when they see ICE come in, and they're there to protect their community, and they've been doing it for weeks in 30 below. And I think that kind of work, it's really great to stop here and to celebrate music and to talk about the power of music and to recognize each other. But I think the real work is in the streets of Minneapolis right now, and I'm here to honor them as well.
So why does this matter? Because politics is downstream of culture, and culture dictates the national mood. In the lead up to the 2024 election, there was a big backlash against progressivism in this country. You can disagree with the merits of it, but you can't disagree that it happened. The whole reason that the Manosphere podcast exploded is because they led the charge for Trump and Republicans against the quote-unquote woke left. Now that's gone. In fact, those same Manosphere podcasters are trashing Trump on a daily basis. And now, far from those musicians remaining silent on Donald Trump, they feel comfortable enough to openly condemn him. That doesn't happen in a vacuum. And millions of people will watch this and use these messages as not only a bellwether for where the national mood actually is, but a permission structure to speak out themselves. I'm not here to delude anybody about the outsized impacts that a few celebrities are going to have in politics, but I'm also not here to pretend that what we're seeing tonight at the Grammys is happening in a vacuum. By the way, I know that Donald Trump and his fans are going to scoff at this and say, this is just some big liberal gathering and everybody in that room has TDS. Let's be clear. These are the people who Trump wants validation from. Trump's whole life is his desperation to gain acceptance into the clubs of people who don't want him.
I don't know about that. I'm not too sure about that, what he said right there, but it's like, I don't know, it's debatable. You know, it's debatable, but end of the day, I don't focus too much on that. And I just be seeing a couple of things on my Twitter, things like that. And I would say just focus on the Lord. All right, and things are going to get hectic. Things are going to get worse before it gets better. And I say you want to be on the right side. You know, you want to be in the Lord's, you know, goodwill. And you want to be glorifying the Lord and be close with the Lord. Reason being because this world's getting very chaotic. A lot of crime going on, a lot of confusion. And in these end times, these last days, Satan wants to drag as much people as possible to the other side. And I encourage you to start walking with the Lord, because these days are crucial. And especially nowadays, it seems like everybody's walking on eggshells. It seems that things are unraveling. You know, everything that's dark comes to the light. You see now with I see on Twitter, I think like a day or two ago with the Epstein files that happened and people reacting to it. You find some disturbing new things on there. It's like, end of the day, it's like, people don't talk about evil. They're evil, they have their own agendas going on. You can't fully trust the people. Don't trust men in general, but trust the Lord. Lean on the Lord's understanding, not of our own. And that's one thing I have to keep putting in my mind, portraying in my mind is that's what like something that doesn't make sense in this world, or politics doing certain moves and going against what they say. It's like, end of the day, it's all, you know, self-greed. And it's like, end of the day, we still have our battles, struggles throughout the day. But what matters is where our soul is going at the end. You know, because all this is going to be gone one day. Nothing really lasts forever. What lasts forever is like the soul eternally. And that's something I found so powerful because not a lot of people talk about this. I want to talk about this stuff. And it's like, and at the end of the day, is like, that's what really matters. And everything else is going to disappear like dust, gone. And I feel like right now, the time is crucial, especially this year and the years to come. You know, because it's very unknown. You know, we don't know what's gonna happen next month from now, next year. So it's just best to start today, and don't wait till you're ready. Yeah, so guys, it's crazy out here, you know.
So he can pretend that he hates New York and the NFL and all the liberal, elite, high society, whatever, but his disdain is born out of jealousy, not contempt. In fact, I spoke about that with Jim Acosta. Here's what he had to say. We often hear that Trump just wants to surround himself with these right-wing outlets, but the reality is we know Trump wants to be agreed not to allow him to buy an NFL team, and he ended up buying a USFL team and basically ran not only his team but the entire league into the ground. The league was I mean he bankrupted
this is why he loves
the entire.
to go to Davos.
Correct.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, and so I'm curious about this, because you're saying here that if the networks deprive him of the oxygen that they can give him, are you saying basically that even though he will rail against these legacy outlets, New York Times, CNN, ABC, NBC, until he's blue in the face, that in reality, he's really looking like it wouldn't be enough for him to just get attention from Breitbart and The Blaze and OAN and Fox News? Like, it is, even though he rails against them, does he actually crave the validation from these networks that he so often complains about?
He absolutely does. And, there's some missing piece inside of his soul that craves this validation on the part of the mainstream press.
Yeah.
And I think, this is a vulnerability on his part, and it ought to be exploited, quite frankly. But on top of that, it's just the right thing to do. It's just the right thing to do to stand with our fellow journalists. And this is not a time for people in, the networks and the brand name news outlets to be petty and vindictive and be like, well, so this person might say, I don't like Don Lemon, and so on and so forth. That all has to be tossed to the side. We have to stand on principle here. And the principle is that the freedom of the press is not negotiable. It is not something that can be toyed with. It is not. Once we go down this slippery slope and say, well, I don't like the way Don did this or that, so I guess, maybe he should spend some time in jail. Give me a break. We can't do that in this country.
So look, I can all but guarantee you that Trump is going to post some unhinged attack on the Grammys and the artists as being deranged anti-Trumpers. But the theme of this evening, again, does not happen in a vacuum. This is basically cause and effect. He thought he can try and rule like a dictator. America's pushing back. Cause and effect. He thought he had a glide path to autocratic rule, and instead, he's getting a swift lesson in just how much of an appetite, or lack thereof, there is to turn the U.S. into Putin's Russia or Kim Jong-un's North Korea. Donald Trump and the Republicans have lost their grip on culture in this country, and that is a dangerous place to be, especially in an election year, as any Democrat can tell you.
The thing, though, is like, people are going to have their disagreements. You don't agree on everything. But he's doing what the people wanted. He's doing what the people voted for him to do. Is to make the places safer again. Make the places safe. You see what happened in London, in UK? A bunch of illegals there turned that city upside down. It never look the same anymore. It's like, do you want that in the same for your city? You want your city to be upside down? Having people there that's selling merchandise that's not even real. A bunch of scams, fraud, killings, kidnappings. It's like we try to have a safer city to lessen those type of crimes. Not have more of those type of crimes. And this type of people, for what I've seen, their type of music, as you can see, for those that's not aware, their music is, it's not the best to listen to. Yeah, it's very popular, things like that, but it's not good for the soul, for your type of mind. And that's the way I look at things now. That's the way I look at it, how I interpret it. But let me know down in the comments your thought about this topic. And yeah, just put your thought process on it. It's a sensitive topic with the whole ICE thing and Donald Trump and enforcing the laws, things like that. Hey, at the end of the day, we just gotta focus on ourselves. Focus on our true purpose in life. And just focus on what really matters. But let's get to what we gotta say.
So even though Donald Trump refuses to take an ounce of responsibility, the reality is that he's learning a quick lesson in responsibility regardless. Oh, and one more thing for Donald Trump.
While I have you here, can I ask you a favor? If things keep getting worse in America, can I come live with you in Puerto Rico?
Trevor, I have some news for you. Puerto Rico is part of America, so it's just...
Don't tell them. Don't tell them, Benny. I need a plan B.
Yeah. Alright guys, appreciate you tuning into this video. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. and I'll see y'all in the next one.